Hi, this is James. This is an episode in my series for my EP dropping April 18th, Old Conversations by James Coe. Check it out when it comes out. And for this video, what I'm talking about is kind of the ebb and flow of mainstream sadness. And I'm talking about this in a music sense, but it's representative of like culture more broadly. And given the sort of like potential recession coming in and all of that, I would not doubt if 2025 shapes up to be a year where it's a high on mainstream sadness. But as an example of this, what I want to talk about is 2015 to 2017. 2015, everything felt way more dreary in music. And the reason why is because like it was an election year, people were very uncertain about everything, and like when you see the biggest songs of that year, you have songs like Hello by Adele. The song itself is slow and emotional. The video is black and white. And you also have 4 or 5 Seconds was a big song that year. Rihanna, Kanye, and Paul McCartney. That's a black and white video. It's an angry song in a way. You have another one of the biggest songs that year, See You Again. It's a mournful song, and that really resonated with a lot of people. And like the biggest album besides the Adele album that year, and obviously like, you know, there were other massive albums. I mean, like Lemonade, I believe, was 2015, and that was obviously a major album, which was a lot of anger, but it was also a lot of celebration. So I mean, like, it's a more nuanced work. But you have The Weeknd's Beauty Behind the Madness, which is without a doubt like a dark album aesthetically and lyrically as well. And something that like really shows like in general the bigger sentiment was people wanted something darker. And then I think people got tired of that. In 2016 there was kind of a tonal shift, and by 2017 it was very significant. The biggest song of that year was like Despacito, which is not a slow sad song. Ed Sheeran was also one of the biggest artists in the world that year, so like obviously that wasn't like some super dark dreary music. And like even the summer that year, like you have Calvin Harris's album for that, like with Slide and all those songs, which like was very big and people regard as like, oh, still like some of the best summer music. But like you also have like SoundCloud artists, like Lil Yachty drops his first like actual album, Teenage Emotions, which wasn't good, but I think it's very symbolic of the way that SoundCloud artists are being viewed then, which was they're starting to be viewed as more serious artists, and they were given more of a budget, and they were expected to do something colorful, something bright. That's like just 2015, 2017. That's like a very sudden shift. And now we're seeing maybe even more sudden with 2024 to 2025. 2024, you have Sabrina Carpenter being one of the biggest pop stars in the world, and she without a doubt is bright, colorful, fun music. And it's good, but that's what it is. And like at the same time, you have like artists getting big like Tommy Richmond with $1 Million Baby, which it's like that was just a fun song with a cool video. Like that was kind of it, and people loved it, and people love it because it was what they wanted to see. It was comforting, or it was just sometimes just people want to have fun, they want to enjoy themselves, which like a lot of artists I think don't get that. Like normal people like enjoying themselves because so many artists like being tortured. And like that's what you see like the most extreme example, oddly enough, this year coming from a pop artist like Taylor Swift. Like it's weird to think of that she was like one of the few artists last year that was truly like embracing a sort of darker black and white aesthetic. It was to mixed success. Obviously she's like maybe the biggest artist in the world, if not top 3, so it's like obviously anything she does will be successful. But it was the first year where it felt like her fans were the main listeners of the album instead of everyone. Like it felt like there was a massive group of fans that were all about it, but people who weren't fans, you could avoid that album. You could go outside and not hear Fortnite. You couldn't go outside before and not hear a song like Style or Shake It Off. But like last year, she had like a big hit with Fortnite, but like it was kind of avoidable. It wasn't inescapable. And in 2025, with like, I mean, given what's happened recently, which is part of why I want to make this video now, 2025 lacks definition. 2025 has not had a hit that defines the year yet. So far, a lot of the biggest songs were released in 2024 still, like the exceptions being like Nokia, and Nokia is like, you would think would be a bright, colorful song, but then the video comes out, it's black and white, and it starts to make you think of like, is this just gonna be the year? Like of it goes back to being dark out of just habit and out of fear or something, because like even like Playboy Cardi has, like, without a doubt, one of the biggest albums of the year. Like, I know as of recording this, I think I just saw a report 91K sold last week. And I'm recording this on April 7th. So I mean, that's like crazy numbers given how long it's been out now for a rapper like him. And like, I mean, he had a #1 hit with like Timeless, and like obviously The Weeknd's new album, a relatively new album. I mean, it came out this year. That work was like, it was really good in some songs, and like, while I wouldn't call it like amazing and like the most emotionally nuanced work, it was still emotional, and it was clear that that's what resonated with people about it. People seem to be wanting something that's like a little darker. They like that sort of edge that it has to it. There's a sort of edge despite how popular it is and how mainstream it is still. And yeah, the black and white aesthetic is definitely back. I mean, like, GNX is still a massive, massive, massive album, and that's obviously a black and white aesthetic. So I don't know. I don't know where this year is headed. It lacks definition, but if I were to guess based on everything, this is going to be another dark year. It's going to be another dark year in terms of music. We haven't really had that in a while, but it's probably going to happen. If you enjoy this type of video, if you enjoy this type of discussion, subscribe, like the video. Check out my EP when it drops, April 18th, and thanks for watching.